with some issues. Hang on just a second. I don't understand. Why are we not live right now? There we go. All right. So what's this all about? I know I've been away for a long time. I've, work, life, everything else gets in the way. And you just don't have enough time, it seems like, to do anything. However, now it looks like all of us have a lot of time to do a lot of things. Unfortunately, we can't get out and do a lot of the things we want to do. We're in this stay at home, quarantine, whatever you want to call it. I know it's affecting everybody. And before I jump into this and start my rant about Nikon, I just want to say I hope everybody out there is making it through this. I know it's tough financially for a whole lot of people, and I wish I had some words of encouragement that could tell you that, here's what you need to do to take care of yourself, but I don't. Just like everybody else, I'm struggling to get through it as well. That said, the title of this is Nikon, Where Are You? I don't know, most of you may have already seen that Canon basically acknowledged that they are in development of the R5, the EOS R5, and the specs on that thing are pretty phenomenal. Whether we believe that they're going to be able to pump 8K internally through whatever processor they've got for that camera now, it doesn't matter. The point I want to make is Canon was genius. They jumped in here, acknowledged that they were in development of this camera, acknowledged what all the specs were that were in the rumor mill, and right now what we know about it is it's going to be 8K 30p. How long will it record internally? Who knows? I have no idea what they've got cooking. I don't know how they're going to keep the camera from overheating at 8K, but let's push 8K out of the way for a minute. I'm not really concerned about 8K right now, but 4K 120p, come on, it's not a game changer. It is a game changer when we're talking about DSLRs or mirrorless cameras. A lot of people wanted that 120p in 4K, and it looks like Canon's going to provide that. How long will there be a recording limit on that as well? I don't know. But the fact is that they acknowledge they are putting it in the camera. Dual pixel autofocus, full screen readout or full sensor readout. I don't know how many megapixel yet. Some of the influencers may already know. I don't know. But just the fact that they acknowledge that this thing exists in development, how close it is to being ready to deliver, I don't know. The whole point about this, making this or doing this live stream, which will be a video obviously posted on YouTube after the fact, is Nikon missed the boat. Again, genius on Canon's part for acknowledging that the camera is in development and all the specs. Every aspiring YouTuber filmmaker out there is looking at Canon right now with all these specs. Now, a lot of people are going to argue and say, well, specs don't mean anything. I disagree. Specs mean everything, especially when somebody's looking to buy into a brand. If they haven't already, right now, with just that announcement alone, it's going to pull people to Canon, and it should. Did Canon have to pay a lot of money for this marketing? Absolutely not. The only thing they had to do is say, yep, that's what we're doing, and here are the specs. You're right. And they are getting free marketing and advertising right now because every influencer on YouTube is jumping all over this. And why wouldn't they? My question is why didn't Nikon do the same thing? And I guess I can answer that question with a question. Is it that they don't have anything competitive in the works? Or are they just being typical Nikon? And no, we'll talk about it when we're ready to talk about it. And then be behind everybody else and then lose more market share. Why do I care about market share? Well, because I'm a Nikon shooter. I like my Nikons. This is being shot with the Z6 right now. And this is the 24-70 f4. Great lens. Does just fine. Without revenue, R&D suffers. And if R&D suffers, then innovation doesn't come out as fast as we'd like it to. And anybody that's aspiring to be a YouTuber or get into video, how can you recommend to them, hey, yeah, go Nikon. Go to Nikon. I can't anymore. My stepson does a lot of videos, and one of the things that he'd like to see in a camera is 4K 120p. If Nikon brings that out in the next 2 or 3 months, there's a chance they can save themselves. But if that's in the works right now, they need to announce as well or acknowledge that it's in development. I don't care if a camera isn't going to ship for another 6 to 12 months. Just the fact that Canon let everybody know. And I mean, we're a captive audience right now. What else does everybody have to do other than search YouTube for photography or videography videos? It's going to be the talk of the town for the next few weeks at least. And as more information trickles out, it's just going to become that much more popular. So what do you guys think? Is this a case of Nikon missed the boat? Do they have something that's competitive to the R5? You know, somebody asked me this morning about Sony. I don't care what Sony does. You know, Sony may or may not have anything competitive either. I don't know. But I'm concerned about Nikon. All manufacturers' sales are down. DSLRs are just tanking right now. And they have been for the last 6 months. Mirrorless isn't doing a lot better, but it seems to be keeping some of the boats afloat, if you will. If Nikon misses this opportunity, I'm really concerned that their revenue is going to take a big hit. I want Nikon to succeed. And I hope somebody from Nikon is listening to all of us out here saying these things. Just give us a tip that you haven't forgotten that you do have things in the works. Not everybody out here is DSLR centric anymore. You know, video is where it's at. A lot of us are working video now, or shooting video now, myself included. And I'm just tired of the constant barrage of every other manufacturer is updating faster than Nikon can push a firmware update out. I am happy that they have been doing firmware updates. I'm pleased with what they've done with the Z6 so far. It does meet my needs to an extent, but 4K 120, come on. I mean, it's not a game changer, but it's definitely a nice tool in the tool belt for video. And a lot of people will say, well, you know, slow-mo's being overused and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. There's a whole generation coming up that eats that up. And guess what? If you don't jump on it and you don't take part in that revolution, you don't take part in that segment of clients, then you're missing the boat. So hopefully Nikon will let us know. I don't know if we have anybody in here or not. I got a phone number up here, and we'll stay on there for just a minute. If anybody does come by and want to call, by all means, you know, call in, share your opinion, share your thoughts on whether this was a missed opportunity by Nikon, and what's Nikon going to do 6 months down the road. So hopefully some others will jump in here. I don't see anybody. There's nothing in the chat. That's okay. YouTube will post this as soon as we wrap it up. Really like to see some comments down there after the fact. Let me know what you think. Again, are you a Nikon shooter? Do you care? If you are a Nikon shooter, how concerned are you? Looking at the financials, we all should be concerned. But let's hope that let's hope something breaks here soon. Captive audience, folks. Nothing to do but watch videos on YouTube if you're a photographer or videographer. And man, my hats off to Canon. That was just a brilliant move. Acknowledge that that camera's in development with those specs. And now every influencer who has been looking for content for the last 6 weeks anyway, they're all over it, and they're gonna just continue to buzz about it. So, short video. Again, comment. I'm gonna start doing some videos now. I'm tired of neglecting this channel. I had a few people early on, and work just became overwhelming. No longer an excuse, at least right now. So drop a comment. If you happen by it, you agree or disagree, subscribe, hit the like button. Let me know what you think. So for those that do watch, thanks. And hey, everybody take care and stay safe out there. AP Studios, back on the air. And bye-bye.